I've been working for myself for nearing on 9 years now, and I have decided to do something that I never thought that I would do. I never really wanted to do until now. And that is going on a sabbatical. So I'm taking a break from both of my businesses. This video, I'll go into a little bit more about when. I'm not quite going to reveal yet where I'm going or what I'm doing because I still need to finalize that. However, I want to talk to you a little bit about the processes that I'm putting in place to prepare my businesses for taking a break. And when I say taking a break, obviously there will still be some stuff that I need to do while I'm away. I can't abandon my businesses completely. I just don't think that's a very sensible or wise thing to do, especially because I see my businesses carrying me through for sort of the rest of my career or until I decide to start another business. So this video is going to be all about the processes that I'm putting in place and the things that I'm thinking about really when I am planning my sabbatical to make sure that my businesses can still run while I'm away, making sure that they're running actually efficiently without necessarily having to do the most amount of work, and how I'm planning financially for this in order to be able to take this break and keep my business going, ticking along with the cash flow, and also in terms of my personal finances and making sure that I can still pay my mortgage and all the other things that I need to do at home while I am away traveling. So I hope you find this video really helpful if you're looking to perhaps break the mold and do all the things that you want to do before adult life gets in the way, or perhaps you have been working for a while and you just want to take a little break. So first and foremost, I had a question about financial planning, and there's two different sides to this. There is firstly the financial planning for my business, and then there's secondly the financial planning for my personal. Now I'm going to start with personal because I think that's the easiest, and then we'll move on to business. So first and foremost, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about how I make money and where my money comes from in different areas, and that will perhaps help you to understand a little bit more about how I'm planning personally and how I'm planning on the business side of things. So I have two businesses. The first is Sassy Digital, and I've been running that for nearing on 9 years now. I left my job when I was 23 to help small businesses with their social media, e-commerce, branding, design, and websites. And 4 years ago, just after lockdown, I decided to start Partner in Wine, which I started when I couldn't keep my wine cold during a socially distanced drink in the park, so I decided to create an insulated wine bottle that holds a full bottle of wine, keeps a bottle of wine cold for up to 24 hours and warm for up to 12 if that's your thing. And it's leak-proof, BPA-free, looks nice, and that's probably what most people know me for. The range is now expanded to a line of picnic blankets, wine journals, and just various other sort of drinks and wine accessories. Now, there's three different prongs to my business, if you like. So first prong over here, we have Lucy Hitchcock. Even though I have two actual legal entities that are limited companies, I also have a business, which is myself over here, Lucy Hitchcock, and anything that's to do with Lucy Hitchcock runs through Sassy. So over here, I work with different brands, and this could be wine brands, it could be software companies. I've worked with a variety of different people. It could be supermarkets, and this is for social media, content creation, anything that is to do with me being on camera or my face or my voice. That is Lucy Hitchcock, and that goes through Sassy. So I might get paid to do a series of videos online, and all of that money will go into Sassy. Also, the money that goes into Sassy is any of my services which I offer. So consultancy work, that could be helping people with their social media. It could be helping people with website reviews. It could be building people's websites. I still do that. I know you're probably thinking, why on earth do you do that? But actually I could build a website in my sleep. And secondly, I actually just really love it. I just love it. It's a passion of mine. It makes me feel productive as well. And other things we do, very rarely branding. Very rarely will I take on a brand, some brand work, but we are doing some work with a brand at the moment, which I'm very much aligned with. So that's why I decided to take it on. So that's the way that I make money through Sassy. So there's two different things. There is the social media side of things, and then these services. Now, obviously, in terms of my time, that offering services does take up a lot of my time. However, I will hopefully be doing more brand work this year, especially in the run up to my sabbatical. And I'm hoping that by sharing my journey of how I'm preparing for sabbatical, how I'm going to go on my sabbatical, that I will generate some more income from brand deals over there with various different companies that are targeted towards making people's life easier, more streamlined within their businesses, etc. And so there's a few brands that I have in mind that I actually personally use, but I'll get onto that later because I will talk about processes later on in this video. And then we have Partner in Wine over here, which is my product-based business. And all of the money that comes through there is either from my website, corporate orders, or wholesale orders. And I don't take any money out this business. This business is, she just sits there, she just does her own thing. And that's because I'm trying to build Partner in Wine. I need to continue to innovate, and to continue innovating, I need money. And so the money stays in that business. So I pay myself from Sassy Digital. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. If I stop working, how is the money gonna continue to come in over here? Because over here, it will still continue to come in. Because I have a fulfillment center, I have various different people doing various different things over here, and also the website just runs on its own, which we'll come on to later on this video in terms of processes. But you're probably wondering how I'm gonna afford my lifestyle if the money dries up over here. Now, first and foremost, I'm not the type of person that in my mind is like the money's drying up. I'm always like, oh, the money will always come. And this sounds kind of woo-woo. And if you're not into practicing this, or you think it doesn't work, trust me, it does. I go through these like phases of being quite stressed by like, oh God, where's my next job gonna come from? I need to pay my mortgage. I, want to go on holiday. I want to save for my sabbatical, etc. But the money always ends up coming in. Trust me on that one. It always ends up coming in. So I'm setting myself up so that obviously, as I said, I get more work over here in terms of brand deals, because that won't be too difficult for me to film either this year along the way and save that money, or secondly, while I'm away, potentially collaborating with different brands as I am on my travels and still trying to run Partner in Wine, my business over here. So that's a little bit of backstory about how my finances work within my business. And I am actually going to be doing a financial audit with my accountant. My accountants are the lovely Rachel from StriveX, which you may have heard of. They work with a lot of small businesses. I will leave the link down here. And yeah, I'm going to do a personal financial audit with her so that I can work out what my goals are in the short term and in the long term. I want to buy a house next year, and I also want to go on sabbatical. And I know that's a bit crazy and out of this world, maybe seems a little bit out of reach, but actually, because I've been thinking about going on sabbatical for a while, these are all things that are kind of already in motion. So I'm not starting from scratch right now. Obviously you're just seeing me start from scratch. So I've been saving for a little while, and I'm going to talk about this in a little second, but I will be doing a financial audit, and we will also hopefully be looking at the businesses as well, and how in terms of finances, and the cash flow, what I need to do while I am away in order to prepare for those businesses to continue running, to continue generating money, so that I can continue to pay the people that help me in the background while I'm not working. So personally, at the moment, I am saving money. So each month my pay slip comes in. I'm not only saving for my sabbatical, I'm also saving for my personal tax return, because as you will know, if you are self-employed, you've got to pay your personal tax return in January. And if you don't have the money for your personal tax return to pay it in January, like I did, I'm the worst, but I ended up doing the payment plan, because you can do it online now, which is great. So what is not so great is having that amount of money leave my bank account each month, when actually I probably should have saved in the first place. So I'm going to be saving for my personal tax return, and I'm also going to be saving for my actual sabbatical. And the sabbatical savings has started, and once I've paid off my personal tax return this year, those things will start too. I've opened a hard to reach savings account on my Monzo, and I will be putting between £750 and £1,000 into that pot a month, and it's earning, I think, 4.5% interest. So by the time I get to my sabbatical, I will have more than enough money, not only to travel, but to pay my mortgage and my bills here at home, and equally to hopefully cover anything else that arises, like, insurance bills that I probably have coming up, like my contents insurance, TV license, and various other bits and bobs, including my personal tax return. So now we've talked a little bit about the money side of things, let's get on to the processes, because you're probably wondering, how the hell do you just go off for 3 months and leave your business ticking on over? I am the only employee of Sassy Digital. I have no employees at Partner in Wine. I am the woman running this ship. So how the hell do I do it? Now, there was a video that I posted last week about, do you need employees to run a successful business? So I would highly recommend watching that, because it explains a little bit of the intricacies about how I run my business and what business is, and how I manage to do these things seemingly on my own. I'm not actually on my own. So first and foremost, both of my businesses are run without employees, and I outsource a lot. So I outsource pretty much as I can. At the moment, I'm still editing my YouTube videos, and that's because I'm still trying to build up my channel, but at some point I will probably outsource that as well. The things that I outsource include fulfillment for Partner in Wine, customer service for Partner in Wine, admin for Partner in Wine, accountancy and bookkeeping for Partner in Wine. You're like, do you actually do anything in this business? I promise I do. The thing that I have not outsourced, which we'll come on to in a second, is the marketing side of things. And you know how prolific I am with my content. If you're not familiar with Partner in Wine, go and look at my page. I produce multiple videos per day. At the moment, only 1 video a day, but over on TikTok, there is a lot more content on there as well. So that is something I'm going to move on to in a second, because this is still something I'm kind of thinking about. Over on Sassy Digital side of things, I have graphic designers that help me out. I have my lovely social media manager, Freddie, who is a school friend of mine, but helps me out with loads of different things. She helps me out with Partner in Wine. She helps me out with some of our retainer social media clients. And she also helps out with a lot of different sort of admin tasks pertaining to things like Shopify, data uploads, various kind of, I don't want to call them mundane tasks, because they're essential tasks, but autonomous tasks where you kind of just go through and you're copying, pasting, or you're filling out spreadsheets and stuff like that. So she does a lot of that. And then obviously the lovely Becky, famously Sassy Digital Becky, who's living over in Australia, still does some part-time work for me as well, in terms of helping me to help clients with branding and their websites. So while I am away, I have plenty of support, and I feel very supported in the things that I do currently that allow me to actually, I feel like I go through periods of working a lot and periods of not working so much, because I don't feel necessarily like I need to, or I'm not too busy. And so when I am really busy, I will try and outsource more. And when I'm not so busy, I'll try and outsource less, if that makes sense, or not so much. And then I just won't do much work. So that is how things run. So in terms of you and your business, if you are looking to do a sabbatical, I would highly recommend, and actually just anyway, if you feel very stressed and overwhelmed, I would really look at areas of your business that you feel maybe that you could outsource or hand over to someone else. The first place for me, naturally, when I was looking to outsource, when I could first afford to outsource anything, the first thing for me was accountancy, because I think that is something that you really need to get right. And secondly, I'm not great with legal stuff. It scares me. And legal meaning, like, I want to do everything right. I want to do my tax return and my VAT and my all of that stuff. I want to file everything correctly. And if I was doing that, I know I would do something wrong and I'd probably end up in jail. So that was one of the first things that I outsourced. And then I felt a lot calmer and a lot less stressed in my business. And then I moved on to employees, which obviously now I don't have, but if I can find support in different areas to support the work that I do, then I will work with freelancers on those bases. So looking at graphic designers, web designers, admin support, which takes me nicely onto my next point. I have a VA. A VA will literally change your life. Meg is just amazing. She's been my VA for years and years and years. Actually, ever since I started Partner in Wine, and she does so much for me. She does my customer service at Partner in Wine. She does my admin. She does my wholesale. She sends out invoices. She does all my contracts and invoices for Sassy when we take on a new client. She works with my accountant to do all my expenses. Oh my God, she's like literally in control of my life. And she also does like a few bit of personal things for me as well, in terms of, if I ever have like energy bills that are renewing and I want to find the best thing. I've got no idea about that. So Meg helps me out with all that stuff. And also she has in the past helped me with like personal budgeting, which she's just a whiz with a spreadsheet. So if you're ever looking for a little bit more support in life, I would highly recommend getting a VA. Now, in terms of looking at the key part of my business that God, I'm like crushing my hands even talking about this, because this is a real point for contention for me, which is that I will need to potentially hand over my social media at some point. And now I have thought about potentially how this might work, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say every week I will do X, Y, and Z. So I will send out one email a week. I will post on social media 3 times a week. I don't need to post every day. Everyone knows I'm away. I can do stories, it's fine. And I will do... And within those 3 posts a week, one of those will be me doing a wine video, which will be pre-recorded. And then the other 2 will be something else. So one will be potentially product related and one will be community related. And I've had a really, really good idea whereby I'm gonna potentially get my community to create content for me. And I think that'll get people really involved. And also I've got such a lovely, wonderful community of people who I think will be willing to share things with me to then create content out of. So that is kind of my thinking. And in terms of my other processes, I've kind of got everything nailed because I do outsource so much already. So one of the biggest things, if you want to take a sabbatical but you still want your business to run, I would highly recommend going into a fulfillment center. If you want to know who I use for fulfillment, I'd be more than happy to refer you. Just send me an email, info@sassy.digital.co.uk, and I will leave the email address below as well. And in terms of the social media side of things and the processes, there's definitely things that I have in my mind that I want to put in place. So for example, I might write the content and then I will put that in a drive somewhere to share with Freddie, who will then work with Becky to put the graphics together to then post on social media. So there might potentially be some other people getting involved, although as I said, I haven't fully got there yet. It's just a little bit more something I need to think about. And lastly, planning the actual sabbatical. So the reason I want to put all these processes in place is because I want to do as little work as possible. My boyfriend is taking off the whole 3 months, no working, no work, and I unfortunately will have to do work. That's just the nature of being self-employed, but I won't be sitting down working all day. I will be answering a few emails and I'll be going off. There will also be times when I won't be online, which leads me on to my next point, which is planning the actual sabbatical. And you're probably thinking, why has planning your sabbatical got anything to do with keeping your company running? And actually, it really does, because when I reveal the places to you that I'm going, you'll understand some places I'm going, hugely technologically advanced, and others I'll be on an island somewhere without signal for 3 days. So I won't be able to answer emails in those times. Now, that will just require a little bit more communication. If, for example, I'm waiting for something to come in, I will have to ask someone within my wider team, or someone potentially at home to log into my emails and then communicate. But I think it'll be fine. I think Meg can probably deal with that, my VA. And making sure that where I go, I have access to the things that I need. So, for example, taking my laptop with me, taking my iPad with me, taking all the things that make my business turn. I have all Apple products. I'm just such an Apple queen because they all work so succinctly well together. I can flick something from my phone to my laptop. and back, and my watch will tell me when I have meetings coming up. So everything I do works really well together, and it saves me a lot of time and hassle. So making sure that I'm taking my my electronics with me, taking my camera with me, taking my things like power banks, like planning all of that stuff, like making sure I've got a good list of things that I actually need to be able to run my business from the other side of the world. Having pocket Wi-Fi, for example, in, you know, places where I can't tether to my phone, or potentially it's too expensive to extend my contract worldwide so that I can get internet in all of these places that I'm going to. But equally, I am going on the 21st of December. And the reason that that is important is because that is the day after deliveries close for Christmas. And deliveries will close on the 20th this year. So by the time we get to Monday, it'll be the 23rd. So if you order something, obviously it's not going to arrive the next day. So I'll be going on the 21st, and that's when business will close for Christmas. And then we will have, let's have a look, shall we? If I leave on the 21st of December, I'm going to have 1, 2. So basically, at least 2 full weeks. I don't know if you can see that. At least 2 full weeks. Is that over here? 1, 2. Until the 4th of Jan, which is like the first weekend of January. Nothing. I take off the first week of January anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. And then actually in January, things are quite quiet. I use that for product development. So I'm doing my product development for next year, this year, which is very, very well planned of me. And I will be very proud of myself if I do actually manage to do that. So that I don't have to think about it in January. Obviously, I will have all the samples. I'll have them all photographed, etc., and ready to go, so that when it comes to April, May time, I can just launch my products when I'm back without really having to have done anything while I've been away. So yeah, January is a very quiet month for me. February, again, things kind of just tick over. I may dabble with advertising, as in like Facebook ads, etc., just to kind of keep things running over, but I don't know whether I think doing things like that in February are necessary. But then you have to think about things like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and how I'm going to market for that. So all of these things will be planned and prepared in advance of those dates. If they're not planned in advance, then I will work out where I am and what I can create where I am if I need to. Sorry to my boyfriend who thinks we're going on a 3-month sabbatical. We are, obviously, but there will be various bits and bobs that I will need to do. And then that is kind of how I'm planning everything. Now, I might be a little bit naive to this, but equally, I think once I get going and once I get nearer to the time, there'll be more pressure for me to do all these things. I need to get everything done by the end of October because Christmas is a very, very, very busy period for me. November and December are absolutely chaotic, and there is no way I can even entertain doing anything for anyone else. It will literally just be partner in wine marketing. So I need to make sure I've done all my marketing for March in October, which seems a little bit wild, but I think we'll get there. I'm going to work closely with PR teams and supermarkets and various other people that are in the industry to make sure that I have the required things that I need to create content for March, by October, getting samples in advance, etc., etc. So it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be a journey to get there, but I will definitely take you all along with me. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos about my sabbatical. I will share with you where I'm going. I will share with you what I'm doing. I will share any developments in how I'm managing this as they come. And I hope that this inspires some people to do the things they want to do before it's too late, because we only get to live one life and we've got to live it to the full. So thank you so much for tuning in today. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Comment below with any questions. I would love to hear your questions about my sabbatical and maybe do a Q&A style video. And in the meantime, head over to my Instagram at lucyhitchcock_ and follow me for more business growth tips and more information day to day on my sabbatical. I'm sure you'll love following my stories because there's always random developments happening over there way before they're posted on a video like this. Come back next Sunday at 6 p.m. while I'll have another video live on how to grow your business or how I'm growing my business. Wishing you all the best for success, and I will see you next week. Bye.